Today I'm baking a few sets of Valentine's Day Isomalt cookies, and I wanted to take advantage of this moment to answer a few of the questions that I get a lot about this technique. So first of all, I start by baking these heart-shaped cookies using my sugar cookie recipe that you can find on my blog, so you can swipe up in case you want to use that one. And once they're already baked and they are cooled down, I use the Isomalt. You can find that technique on my YouTube channel. There's a full tutorial on how to use it, the amounts, how to prepare it, all of it. And since I baked some yesterday, I have some leftovers of this Isomalt. So I pour the leftovers in drops like this one on a baking sheet with parchment paper, and once they are already set, I grab them in plastic wrap like this one. And then today I'm going to either use a pan for this, or I can use a glass and microwave them like this. I don't need to use any more water or anything else. They will melt like that, and once they're already melted and reach the desired temperature, I can pour them on the cookies, and the cookies look like this on the front. And I have to put them, of course, like facing side down, so I can have all the melting in here, and then I have a nice gap in between cookies, so I can just put sprinkles or candies or anything I want inside them. Another question that I get a lot is about how deep the cookie has to be so you can have a nice gap in between them to fill them with sprinkles. So I do 0.5 centimeters, which is half an inch. And this is, I think, the best because you can make them as deep as you want. The only problem and my only concern will be the baking time, so they can hold shape and they are, just delicious to eat them. Another question about eating them, I get a lot of questions about, is it hard to eat it? Is it like difficult? Is it safety for kids? It is safety for kids just as a lollipop. You are only gonna start eating, the cookie, and then you will end up eating the rest. Of course that you're gonna need probably a plate because the sprinkles are just gonna jump everywhere. The shelf life of the Isomalt, not the cookie, they can last for up to a year, although I've never stored them more than 6 months because I ran out of it like pretty quickly. But you can store them either like this, like I showed you before, or in its natural stage like crystals. But it's really important that it doesn't have contact with humidity. And I made a blog post talking about everything you need to know about how to store them and like the many problems that you can face while doing this technique, because trust me, it took me a long time to master this technique. So if you have any problems, just you need time, practice, and patience. And if you want to read that blog post, I'm just gonna link it here, so you just have to swipe up to the screen. Just hope I'm going through all the questions that I get. So the next one is about the thermometers. So I love to use these two thermometers, and I have this one which is from Wilton, and I love to use this one when I make like huge batches of Isomalt cookies. Of course it's gonna have to be on a bigger pan, and it holds like this. And I like to use this small one, which I got it from Amazon, and you can find it also at Walmart, and it holds like this. You just have to be very careful with this part, because if you have a big stove like the one I have, which is industrial, it can burn, so just be very careful with that. Also, you don't want them to touch the surface of the pan, because then you're gonna have a different temperature. So if it reaches more than 300, then your Isomalt is gonna look yellow, which means that it's already burned, so you don't want that. And you just want to have it like here in between. I don't know if you guys can see it there, where it says hard crack. You don't want it soft, you want it hard crack. And just the same as this one. Next question, it's about my sugar cookie recipe, the shelf life and the flavor. So This one can last for up to a week in an airtight container. You cannot put it on the fridge. And the flavor, well, what can I say? It's really good. Of course, this is a basic vanilla sugar recipe. You can always mix it using different flavors like caramel instead of the vanilla, strawberry, lavender, chocolate, blueberry, any kind of flavor that you will want to add to your mix and to your cookie batter will work with this recipe. And of course, you guys all know that you can find this recipe on my blog. That's it. I think I answered pretty much all of your questions, and this last one, it's about how long is the isomalt gonna last looking crystal clear. So if you guys remember, I made these cookies for a Wilton project around November last year, and I stored them so you guys can see how the isomalt is still looking good. Of course, you cannot eat the cookie any longer because it's not good to eat, but I stored them so you guys can see. Let's say that you have, I don't know, a bridal shower and you want to show your customer like an idea of the cookie, and you bake some cookies and you store them, and you just want to, you know, sell the idea. So you just have to know how to store them and how to take care of them, of course. And like I always say, this takes practice and patience. This is the biggest one, and as you can see, the sprinkles are still moving in the air. And yeah, so of course that if you have any questions, you can always leave them in any of my pictures and Instagram, or you can go to my blog and, you know, just in any blog post, you can leave all your questions in there.